the act now. Where's my wife? Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed. Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry. The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe. In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would. I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason, packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo, things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more. On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, things changed when they were wrapped in darkness. They turned into something else, something foreign, and nothing was safe or innocent anymore. I'd never really understood what she meant, until now. The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. But I was finally out of the woods, and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw. When Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed, like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified. The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it, but it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond. Sarah didn't care about the legal threats Wake's agent had made. She let Wake go without argument, because there was something about him she couldn't quite put her finger on, something that reminded her of her father. She didn't think Wake would hurt his wife. Then she thought about the way he waded into Hartman, that hair-trigger rage flaring up without warning. The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around. Shadows stirred and the wind picked up as I ran through the forest. I felt the dark presence turning its gaze toward me. Then the moonlight was blotted out by dark shadows that raced violently across the ground, moving too swiftly to be natural. Darkness gathered between the trees and melted again to reveal the Taken. No natural path had brought them here.
All right. Wait, did I actually do the right one? Yeah. So I felt kind of like I wanted to put the, do all those just kind of because I didn't read them before, and now that we're actually are past that chapter, which means I missed a few. Huh. Okay. Huh. Alright, so there's something bad over there. Huh. Let's go up here. Just hang out here and go back over. So now we have that checkpoint. Huh. Well, there you go. Alright, I'm not going to stay and listen to that. Instead, we're going to go this way. Let's... I don't like this one bit. Anyways, though, manuscripts. No, not over here. Oh. Man, it looks... Oh. Oh, shit. Are we gonna fight Taken cops?
This horror was everywhere I went, circling
Oh,
me.
boy.
The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
I've lost contact with person when you assigned to me. It's Wake's doing. Wait, are you seriously telling me that these writers just took out my deputies? Are you kidding? I mean, have you seen this guy? He wears a tweed jacket. Over. He's the guy we're chasing. If it's not him, who then? Bigfoot? Over. I don't know yet, but I'm not in the habit of jumping to conclusions. That tends to come back and bite you in the ass. Out.
Alright. Let's just continue on our merry way. Along this cliff face. Oops. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? They brought in a helicopter? Oh, for fuck's sake. They brought in a goddamn helicopter. Oh. Let's see how this goes. Alright. Wow. I'm pretty sure that chopper is going down. Damn. Alright, well. So much for that. You know, I'm willing to bet that we're going to have to kill Nightingale, whatever his name is. Checkpoint! What is that? Oh, that's like a cell phone radio tower thing, whatever. Ooh! Can I use these? We got a jump scare? So... got a gas station. Is that the gas station from before? What am I supposed to look at then? I mean... what's that? What's that? It's a thermos. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I was expecting a jump scare there, in all honesty. Hey, let's use this.
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over. Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They put up a fight or anything.